What's good? This is the Quality1 podcast, hosted by DJ Haughton. And today we're going to do an album review called Jay Z, The Dynasty, Rock La Familia, released in 2000. You guys should know who Jay Z is. I'm not going to get into his whole biography. But right after the success of his fourth album, it, in my life, no, in Lifetime S. Carter, Volume 3, which came out in late 1999, and after that success, and it was around that same year where he got a little bit of trouble, allegedly stabbing Lance Rivera at a nightclub, which y'all should know about if you know about that, like all that craziness that was happening around that time with him, and and then around 2000, um there was a documentary called Backstage, where the dope fucking documentary, by the way, around that time where he did the Hard Not Live tour with had like other people, like obviously with the Rockefeller crew. They had with Beanie, Memphis Bleak, Emil, among the other rappers, Eve, DMX, DJ Clue, Redman, Method Man, Buster Rhymes, just to name a few. And all of them, like I said, also Dame Dash, all of them were in that documentary. So if you guys haven't watched it, definitely watch it. Definitely watch that. And then 2 months later, then this album came out. Originally, that was supposed to be a compilation album, but it just ended up being a Jay Z solo album, and it's pretty much all the of the Rockefeller crew, that like some of the new members that was in that album. So yeah, and the singles on this album is I Just Wanna Love You, Change the Game, Guilty Until Proven Innocent. Even though Me, Him, and Her wasn't a single, I mean it should have been a single, but I felt like it was, but it was more like an underground single. I remember Hot 97 used to play that song too. Heavy rotation. Yeah. Before I get to the track listing and talk about like when some of the producers, let me show you what the album looks like. See, pretty dope. Pretty dope cover. Him doing the rock. The back. See him just posing. Yeah, see, doing the rock. Pretty dope right there. Nothing to it. Pretty cool. Look at this cover right here. That's pretty dope shit. All the Rockefeller crew, as you see. Anything. See Beanie, Memphis, Emil, Jay. Yeah, pretty dope shit. And as you see right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you see it, like the albums that were coming out that year or prior, or either, yeah, pretty much from that year, like the ones that came out was like obviously the one I mentioned with the backstage mixtape that came out. Emil Money's Eagle that came out. Memphis Bleak The Understanding that came out. DG Clue The Professions Part 2 that came out. Being Siegel The Reason that came out. Yeah, so I'm not sure about the other, the other I think specifically the other two albums that's listed here on the. I'll probably I'll look it up. I'll look it up later if it did. But yeah, pretty much those albums came out. Like I said, like yeah, that same year, pretty cool. And it's featured heavily. So like I said, it was supposed to be a compilation album, but it ended up being a Jay Z solo album. Now the producers that we got on this album, just Blaze, dope producer, Rick Rock, Pharrell. Yeah, it's kind of like a little blurry with this. I have to like look closer with this booklet. Uh, yes, yeah, Pharrell, just Blaze again, Kanye West, like the old Kanye. Not I'm not feeling not the crazy Kanye, but I like Kanye's early production. Rick Rock again, just Blaze again, Blink, Rockroller, dope producer. Rick Rock again, High, Blink again, just Blaze again, Blaze again, Rick Rock, and TT. Those are the producers on this album. Now we're gonna go to the track listing. Let me put this back. We got track one, intro. Pretty dope intro right there. I like the beat. I like the beat to it. That was pretty cool. Then we got track two, change the game. That was the second single of the album. Dope way to start the album. Um, I love the beat. It definitely has that West Coast vibe to it. That's what I really like about that beat. That was pretty cool. Track three, I just want to love you. Pretty pretty cool track. Like I like it, but they overplay that song. I just got tired of it. Like I said, I like it, but they keep overly heavily play that song. But like it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool track. Track four, Streets is Talking. Pretty pretty another pretty cool track, right? You know, pretty cool track. And I believe yeah, let me have to like check. Hold on. And yeah, and that was it was is produced by just Blaze. That was like I said, pretty cool. And track five, This Can't Be Life. That was produced by Kanye West. Pretty, another pretty cool track. They all did a thing on that song. And yeah, if I got to mention, yeah, like with yeah, just like track four and five is with no, I think it's just yeah. This one was track five was with obviously with Beanie and Scarface. And that's pretty cool. And we got track 6, Get Your Mind Right, Ma, with Beanie and Soup on this track. And it's produced by Rick Rock on here. That's pretty cool. Dope, 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 dope. Yeah, pretty dope track. Track 7, Stick to the Script. And that's produced by Just Blaze. Dope fucking track. Love the beat for that. Love it. And we got track 8, You, Me, Him, and Her. Love. One of my favorite one of my favorite songs on this album. Pretty dope. And it's produced by Blink. Like I said, that should have been a single right there. Like, cause that yeah, that song was, yeah, like, yeah, so dope, so dope. We got track 9, Guilty Until Proven Innocent, and that's the final single of this album, featuring with R. Kelly. Love to be for that. And we got track 10, Parking Lot Pippin. Pretty dope track. Um, e- I mean, it's featured with Little Mo, but even though it's not credited, but it's featured with. I mean, obviously it's featured with, let's say, with Little Mo, but but she's not credited on the song. Yeah, so but that was, you know that was pretty dope. Track 11, Holla. Pretty decent track right there. Um, track 12, 900 Hustler. Another decent track right there. Track 13, the ROC. Pretty cool track. And I think that track is, yeah, it's also produced by Just Blaze. And we got track 14, Soon You Understand. Another dope one. And I believe that's also produced by Just Blaze as well. We got track 15, Squeeze First. Pretty decent track. And the last track, Where You Been? I mean, where have you been? Dope way to end the album. Love the beat for that. And like, yeah, I just love it. Pretty dope. My overall on this album, pretty dope. Very underrated. Cause like, I don't hear too many JC fans talk about that album. Cause like the albums like they'll talk about, which is obviously Reason Without, Blueprint, and the Black Album. As far as like his top albums, like, I mean, like, I do hear like other albums like, what's other albums? Like, yeah, I do hear like American Gangster, and probably even Hard Knock Life too, but that album doesn't get talked about a lot. And they rarely mention the album too. But I feel like the Dynasty album should be mentioned as far as like Jay-Z's top albums. But yeah, like, love the production on that. Um I mean, it's kind of, yeah, like if you listen to it, like, like I said, it's completely different from, I'll say, like, from Jay-Z's Hard Knock Life Volume 2, and in the lifetime of S. Carter. Like, as far as like production wise, yeah, like, it's a little different. But I love it. Um if you get your hands on that album, definitely pick it up. Um Like I do see it in stores, but not as much. I noticed that too. Like I haven't been seeing stores like as far as like the Dynasty, as well as like its earlier stuff. Like maybe once in a while I do see in stores, but but you can order online. But at least with me personally, I like to go out and get the albums. But I've seen it like every once in a while. But now because you don't see it as much, like as far as like like especially his early stuff. Yeah, you don't see too much in stores like stock in there. But yeah, um, yeah, like yeah, I'm you know yeah I'll be doing more album reviews. Yeah, just this is like pretty much like the first episode of the Quality 1 podcast, and I try to like do this on like every week, or not every week, but like every other week or so, stuff like that. And but yeah, but definitely stay tuned for more album reviews, and yeah, until the next one, peace out.